Morning, everyone. So we'll have another lesson on capillary puncture equipment and procedure. So I'm gonna share to you my screen. Okay. Okay, let's start. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe the various types of equipment needed for capillary specimen collection and discuss the composition of capillary blood specimen and the test and reference values, and also identify indications for performing capillary puncture in adults, children, and infants. List the order of draw for collecting capillary specimen and illustrate the proper procedure for selecting the puncture site and collecting capillary specimen from adults, infants, and children. You have also to describe how both routine and thick blood smears are made and the reasons for making them at the collection site, and define the clinical significance of capillary blood gas, neonatal bilirubin, and newborn screening tests, and also describe the specimen collection procedure for each. So here, the type of equipment for capillary specimen collection. So what is capillary puncture or skin puncture? So it is a method that uses a lancet to make small incision onto the capillary bed of the skin to obtain a small volume of blood specimen. Blood yan ha. So when we say capillary puncture, you have to remember a small volume of blood specimen. So we perform capillary to obtain small volume of blood specimen. So as you can see in the picture, so capillary puncture ang ginabuhatan na. So doon na nimo ang lancet or the laser lancet na yung gamit tira. So idol nimo and then nakaipistiton sa laser lancet or kaya lancet yun imo itusok sa pasyente so that you can create a small incision. Therefore, you can collect the small amount of blood specimen. So the equipment we have here, lancet or incision devices. Kani ang itsura sa ato ang lancet. Daghan kina siya color. So tan-awon mo na siya colorful kayo kung sa mga bata pa kung magkuha kang dugo, murag ipaibog-ibog nimo sila sa color kay cute man kay ni sila tan-aw. So lancet or incision devices, these are sterile, sharp instruments that are intended for one-time use only. So dili pwede balik-balikon ha. Kung makatusok na kaani, then mo na siyang i-dispose. Dili na pwede balikon tusok sa same patient or sa another patient. So they are designed for use in making cuts into the skin for finger or heel puncture. So sila ang pangtusok. So we have here laser lancet. This is a type of lancet that produces a small hole in the skin by vaporizing water in the skin. This eliminates the risk of sharp injury because cauterizing the skin is not necessary. So there are two types that are used in capillary puncture, finger puncture lancet and heel puncture lancet. So kaning laser, di na kayo magamit og katong mga sharp nga pangtusok. So himuon lang, it produces a small hole in the skin by vaporizing water in the skin. So far, wala ko ka-encounter og ginani. Katurang murag ballpen akong ma-encounter. Pero naato siya lancet sa sulod. So next, another equipment, we have micro collection container, also known as microtube. So kani siya, sudlanan ni siya anang mga small blood specimen nga makolek na to during capillary puncture. So naay mga level diha kung pila lang ang makolek nimo, dapat di ka musubraan na. Kaya musubra ka na, dili na proportion ang anticoagulant sa blood nga gisulod nimo. So therefore, basig mag-clot ang imuhang sample. Dapat dili ka maklatan. Kaya usually aning EDTA nga micro collection tube, ang goal ana niya is dili mo clot ang imong specimen. So if ever musubra ka or gamay ra pud kaayo, so there is something wrong pagtan-aw nimo na under the microscope. Okay? So we have here another, kani siya, microhematocrit tubes and the sealant. So kaniyang sealant. These are narrow bore tubes that are made of either plastic or glass. Wala na kung napakita tari ang atong microhematocrit nga tubes. Katong capillary glass. Wait lang guys ha. I have to disconnect muna. Bakit? So let's continue. So after the micro collection container, monisudlanan sa atong small amount of blood, and it has additives to prevent clotting para usually in hematology test maka-read that. So we have here sealants, kana siya, mo ni ginagamit pang seal. After you collect blood, gibutang na nimo sa capillary glass or sa microhematocrit tubes. I-seal nimo siya para dili manggawas ang dugo. Okay? So, on the video, I'm gonna show you kung saan siya pag-seal. Okay? So next, we have microscope slides. Of course, need kayo na to siya. These are used for blood films for hematology. So, we have here warming devices. These are used to increase the blood flow 7 followed by warming the puncture site. Pwede na ng mga washable tools na butanin mo ininit tapos i-warm ang site. So, na lang. So we have here another capillary blood gas or the CBG equipment. This is a special equipment used for collecting capillary blood gas specimen which contains CBG collection tubes, stirrers, magnets, and plastic caps. So usually for blood gas o blood gas na testing, manid siyang capillary blood gas na specimen. Okay, let's move on. Composition of capillary blood specimen and the test and capillary reference value. So ano nga ba ang composition of our capillary blood? So capillary blood specimen is a mixture of different blood and fluids. So mixture pala siya with the blood fluids, arterial blood. So from the artery nga blood, venous blood, so from the vein blood, capillary blood, so capillaries, and even siya interstitial fluid and intracellular fluid. So, the capillary reference values may vary from venous blood. So, na different, nice like kalahian kung i-read mo ang venous na blood kaysa sa capillary nga blood. So, in capillary daw, mas higher ang atong glucose kaysa sa venous nga blood. Lower, kung capillary imong gamiton, lower ang atong total protein, calcium, and potassium compared sa venous nga blood katong ginakuha nato during venipuncture. So muna ang naibantayanan. So for other than that, okay lang ka mag-capillary. Okay? So usually mampud ka na, di mampud taga capillary if need lang kaayo, dili lang siya makuhaan, and if baby pud ang kailangan. Okay? So, depende ng doktor, mo, naman siya, asa ninyo gikuhaan ang pasyente? Sa kamot ba or giving ba nimo? Yan na. So, indications of performing capillary puncture on adults, children, and infants. So, when ta mag-perform og capillary puncture, pwede ba nato mag-capillary puncture siya, bisag dako na siya? Or kung baby siya, pwede ba siya capillary puncture? Okay, so let's find out. So in capillary puncture, it is a good alternative for venipuncture under the following circumstances. Pwede lang siya if ever ang veins are fragile and not accessible because of scars and burns. So natin mga pasyente nga na ay mga scars or na yung mga burns. So ang iyang tibuok arms na sunog, even iyang feet. So pwede pa nimo makuha na yung mga fingers. So you perform capillary puncture. Another, veins are reserved for another procedure such as chemotherapy. So, mumani ang vital kaayo nga i-perform So kita nga medtech kung ingnan ta for chemotherapy man iyang ugat. So pwede ta mag-perform og capillary puncture. Another, clotting tendencies. So if ever ang pasyente is na clotting tendencies, na siya kaning mga certain nga mga disease involving clotting factors, pwede nga dugay siya muklat, dugay muklat. If ever magtusok ka, dugay kay siya sige siya bleed kay dili muklat to the pit, kay na siya sakit something inana. So we have to perform capillary puncture. Another, extreme fear of needles. Usually mga kanang phobia sa needles, kuyapan, no, muhog and everything, mag-wild, okay? So we have to perform capillary puncture. Another, veins will be used for glucose monitoring or oral glucose test. So if ever ang atong veins is gamiton siya for glucose monitoring, sige man nagtusok good. So kung inana, pwede ta mag capillary puncture. Okay? So, preferred method for infants and young children because of the following reasons. So, nagka-capillary puncture ta sa mga bata because of this reason. So, preferred na to ang capillary puncture basta mga bata and young children. So, health risks such as anemia and cardiac arrest. So, we know nga mga bata is small pa ilang blood volume. So, kung imo siyang venipuncture tapos daghan kita gikuha, possible magka-anemia na sila. So, we have to perform capillary puncture. So it requires only a small volume of blood. So mga test sa bata, di man jud usually kuan, daghan blood inahanglan. Usually mga blood type na ilaha, CBC, nana. So venipuncture could damage veins and tissue surrounding the site. So kung baby pa man sila, very kuan kanilang ugat, kanang gagmay kaayo. So kung mag-venipuncture, kanay tendency mag-collapse ilang ugat, mag-damage ilang veins and the tissue surrounding. So puncturing could result into hemorrhage, thrombosis, gangrene, and infection. So bata pa man sila, dili pa fully develop ang ilang immune system. So prone siya to infection. Kung mag-puncture tag gamit ang vein niya, so dako siya tendency, okay, may injury. So risk of injury because of the restraint needed in venipuncture. Bata man na, mahadlok man yun na tusukon. Klaro ka, ayo ang dagom. Siyempre, kuan yun na, igdad yun na, di yun na magpagunit nimo. So, mas lisod siya kuhaan. So, whereas mo kamot lang, di kuratan na sila ka jud, pwede ka siya sin sakit. Hindi po ka mag-require o grabe pag-restrain niya. Okay? So, in mga children po daw, capillary blood is the preferred specimen. So, we have here order of draw for capillary collecting capillary specimen ko. Na kung natay order of draw sa tubes nga dagko, napuntay order of draw sa capillary specimen. So na sila difference. Okay, you have to memorize this, you have to note this. So first, dapat if ever mag-collect ka tapos daghag test, usually first tube is the capillary blood gas specimen. Katong mga test nga na ay mag-blood gas specimen gamit. Next, the EDTA specimen. So if ever need muna yung mag-next EDTA. First is your blood gas specimen. Next, EDTA specimen. Next is your other additive specimen. Iwit na serum specimen. Muna yung order of the yab-ani mo siya og dugo. So, inana dapat in order. Capillary blood gas specimen, EDTA specimen, ato gina-follow para kaning dili siya vital manggod ng kanang basi ma-interchange ni mga iyang mga kaning mga additives. So, if ever nagamit ka o finger lang niya ba, so basi ma-contaminate gani. So, kailangan mo-follow tag order of draw. Tapos katong mas pinaka-importante, pinakauna jud na kasi bukdan po kag dugo. Okay. So, procedure for selecting the puncture site and collecting capillary specimen from adults and children. So natin procedure for selecting the puncture site. So what are the procedures? So step 1, review and check accession test request. Allowance ng test request sa mga request. Typing ba, CBC ba, or na yung mga serum test. Next approach, identify and prepare the patient. So, mo kung alam mo pangalan, kung magtutugma pa sa imong test request. Next, verify diet restriction and latex sensitivity. Basic allergy sila sa imong gloves, anything. So, interview ka gamay. Tayo sa hands and put on glass. Murag di siya mo gymnast finger. So, warm the okay, naputol ka Jot. So fill and mix tubes or containers in the order of draw, place gauze and apply pressure, label specimen and observe special handling instructions. So step 15, you have to check the site and apply bandage, dispose of used and contaminated materials, thank the patient, remove gloves and sanitize the hands. Transport specimen to the lab. So simple lang kaya ang capillary puncture. So I will require you on your lab to perform this procedure for selecting the puncture site, collecting capillary specimen from adults, infants, and children. So you have to perform capillary puncture steps. After you have view this link in YouTube, you can, for reference ninyo sa inyong buhaton in the lab, so you have to return demo. So video yourself doing the capillary puncture with the steps given, the procedure given, and you can send it to my email or on my messenger. So that's it. That's the brief discussion for capillary puncture nga usually ginabuhat yun sa mga medtech. So if there are any questions, clarification, you can PM me, okay? Kung na mo gusto i-clarify, ma'am, ana, kay na isa ka student, nag-clarify po siya. Nice to yung question. So, confused gid siya or na ano gid siya, na curious gid siya nga ang sugtumin ato. So, tama to yung gibuhat nga mag-clarify siya. Okay, this is soon to be your profession. So, better mag-question gid mo kung na mo di masabtan or dili clarify, klaro sa inyo ha. Okay? So, visit this link and then make a video of you doing the return demo in the procedure or the step-by-step procedure for selecting the puncture site. So you have to follow the steps given in the PowerPoint. So that's it. That's the end. Hope you have learned something about capillary puncture. Okay, so thank you everyone and good day.